Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC but do everything DIY. We are in the process of installing a water source condensing unit along with an entire system for a walk-in freezer. But right now we have an issue where we have these refrigerant pipes and this electrical in our way. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. So right now we're in the process of installing this climate control made by Heatcraft water source condensing unit for a new walk-in freezer setup. We are having issues with space as this is a very large condenser. Look at that piece right there. Look at this receiver right here. Look how big that thing is. So it's the ceiling. We had to remove a ceiling tile and everything. And this is the compressor. It's pretty large as well, but compared to that, dear Lord. Anyways, we're dealing with space problems. So the first thing I had to do was I came here the other night. You guys remember, these pipes are sticking straight out. There's a wall here. So I'm like, let me get it behind that wall. So I redid the water lines there. Put in a new valve. I elbowed out right there. And like that, we are behind this wall so we could reach this. I mean, this thing is kind of crazy, but yeah. So I came off with an elbow, put in a ball valve to a male pipe adapter, and then we can use flexible hoses so we can make connections like this and this. So right now, really, these pipes are in our way, especially with like our electrical, and it looks terrible, and then this thing is just hanging. So the plan is to move these pipes, which are for this condenser unit, which is a walk-in wine cooler. We're gonna move those pipes. Instead of going through the unit, we're gonna go up and around and maybe come out here and then make our way into here. So we're gonna reroute these pipes. That's the plan for today. This is the condensing unit we are working on. So if we follow this line here, right there, turn that off, turn the switch off, so we turn off the power for the condensing unit. Two things are gonna be moved: the piping and this electrical. I don't want it running through my condensing unit. So I just turned off the power. Let's get the gauges onto the system. You see a piece here you can get to, which really, this is going to be the high side. This is also going to be the high side. And this here is going to be our low side, our suction line. Suction line, liquid line. I want to see if this thing even reaches temperature. Look at this thing. They leave the door open in here. It is kind of chilly in here. I installed this control here. 58 degrees in here. Alright, so I just want it set to 55. So considering the door is open, okay, considering the door is open and this thing is cooling. Ooh, that coil is a block of ice. This thing has problems, man. Okay, I just opened up this cover here. That TXV is definitely frozen. But I don't think I see a solenoid valve. I'll try to open the other side, but I don't think there's anything in there. As far as on this side, there's nothing but some wires. I figure usually it's on the other end. I turned off the power because this thing started to splash water around. But yeah, you can see here, got a block of ice on this coil. Could be many reasons. The back of this coil actually looks a bit dirty. It is pretty dirty, actually. Also, there's moisture coming in from this door constantly being open, and also this thing never shuts down. And it's interesting because only the bottom is iced up. All right, well, this thing needs to defrost. I wanted to see if there's a solenoid valve in here. If there was, I would have opened up the circuit and open up the solenoid, forcing it open with the solenoid magnet, so we make sure that we recover everything. With that being frozen, that is not good. It definitely needs to defrost. But anyways, we got to start this job with a recovery, and let the engineer know that there is actually problems in this unit prior to us starting. This is the heat gun that I'm using, the Wagner Furno 500. This one's pretty good. It's definitely helping to melt this. Not gonna be here forever. What's cool about this one is that you can adjust the fan speed and the heat level, which is pretty cool. So there's 2 fan speeds and like 5 different little heat settings. LCD display. It's pretty good. So let's go ahead, let's melt this all up so we can properly recover, and I think it's just a better way to do this. While this thing is defrosting, I could take out the electrical because I do want to move that as well. Look at this horrible spacing for everything. Alright, that comes off here. Power is off on both sides. So this guy right here, the white wire is not being used. Black goes here. Okay. And the red goes here. What I could do is put a piece of tape on each one so I know which one goes and I can get it out of the way. All we have here is a power line coming in. And this is going to be coming in from our thermostat, this one. This is the main power coming in. But her thermostat energizes this, which is number 5 on our potential relay. Some people call it the 521 relay. It's 5, and this one, I guess, to the second leg of power is always connected up there. Anyways, let's tape this up and remove this. Okay, so I put a piece of black tape with black and red tape with red tape. We know that's where those 2 go. Let's remove this. Alright, let's remove that ring. Alright, cool. It's coming apart. Move that ring. Alright, we gotta pull this white wire out, because when it's ringed up like that, it ain't gonna go nowhere. Let's pull that out. Careful we don't disconnect anything else. That's good. Hopefully that's long enough. Oh, there's a tie wrap on there. Okay. Put this ring back on here. That's out the way. And I guess we could reroute that. Alright. Okay, now that this is out, we can reroute this to a different place. Right there. I see it right here. Get it out of our way. Hopefully this all fits now. So it's out of the way from there. It still does. I guess it can actually come down on this like ring. This bracket, and just neatly go inside. I think that's fine. Alright guys, I rerouted the electrical and I taped up all the wire nuts. You tell me, do you tape up your wire nuts? Drop a comment below. So I ran this here. Yeah, to let it just go alongside with that mess that's there. I mean, it is what it is, but electrical's out of our way. I got a electric heat gun. Let's go ahead and melt that coil down. Make sure we get all the refrigerant out when we recover it. Alright guys, the coil is good to go. We are recovering now. I got my recovery tank on scale, and we're seeing how much we're pulling out of here. That'll be a good indication of what to put back. When I spoke with the engineer, we're gonna put in fresh refrigerant. So gas is coming out through here, through this hose, into the machine, and out of the machine, into the recovery tank. Let's get this gas out of here, and then we can fix this all up. All right, guys, this recovery is done. We can go ahead and get this thing started. All right. So anytime you open up a system, you're gonna want to change the filter dryer. So we have a flared connection here with a sight glass. All right, let's hold back here and disconnect right there. Squeeze them. Oof, a little tighter than I thought. Try to get a good angle on this. All right. That is out of our way. Flare nut here and a flare nut here. As far as the rest, I think it's to cut this over here. I'll do some of the brazing right here. Get this stuff out of the way. Really, I try to bend it out the way, but it's really horrible. And let's just get this stuff out the way. It's just better to keep this area clear and do this a little neater. So I think it's a cut over there and come around and maybe even go above this duct and just like come down right here and attach back over here. We'll leave the rest as is. Let's cut this thing out. Let's chop it up. Look at that. There's a hidden sprinkler in the ceiling. That can't be good. We don't need these pipes just in here. Let's get that out of there. I don't want to braze near that exactly, so I think maybe instead of brazing here and he going straight up, I took out this tile here. I feel like I'd rather braze right here, so I'm gonna cut it here and run a new line. All right, guys, I just came back from the supply house. I got the filter dryer and sight glass combination. We're gonna go with everything new. It's flare. Let me tape these up for now. Let me just build out the pipe and set this up, braze it up while we run some nitro through there, and let's get this thing going. I got my line set here. Just gonna run it most likely above that duct, or go this way and go like that. We'll see. Let me build this out. Okay, made my connection here. It's gonna go up and across here, away from our condensing unit. As you can see right there, we're gonna be able to put a ceiling tile over there. That part might have to have a bit of a gap. So from there, you just straighten out after, and then my connections are over there. Let's run some nitro through the system and brace this thing up. All right, so what I'm gonna do is here is take off the Schrader valve here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep that there because I got my high side on there. What I could do is take off my low side. If you guys can see, take out the low side hose, and take off the Schrader valve there. So I'm gonna charge nitro, push it through the high side, and it's gonna flow through the system and come out this low side here. So I'm gonna take off the Schrader valve for that reason. I'll do that, and then I can switch if I want to and go the other way around, as this has a port here, right? A king valve or queen valve, whatever you want to call it, and or three-way, whatever, and then we can flow nitro through the other side. So let's set this up. You can hear that. Doing a quick little purge, and then what I want to do is set up this tool here, and that's what we need to braze with nitrogen. Throw that on right here. Do that. Open the tank. Open the high side valve. There's like this little orange ball here. Let me take off my camera so we can adjust it. You can see, we can adjust it. So we want it here where it says braze. So we're just gonna lift it up a little bit. Just a little more, no. Just a very little. Like that. It's off the ground, off the bottom port, and you should be able to braze now. Alright guys, got a little fireproof mat here because of course they got some weird thermostat cable passing through. And got my torch. I'm gonna light it up with a striker. And I got my brazing rod with nitro flowing through. Alright guys, got my new components here. These are flares. Pretty much just twist them together, make sure they're in the correct orientation. And we're going to put in a new system, new filter dryer. Make sure that you follow the arrow. There's an arrow here. So it's leaving the condensing unit and going into our blower section towards the evaporator into our expansion valve. So let's just set this all up. Also, for all the threaded connections, I'm going to use Nylock glue, gasket, and thread sealant. This stuff works great. You don't exactly need it, but it's a little bit of an insurance plan on your threaded refrigerant connections. Got rid of that regulator. Let's open this guy up, and I'm just going to purge the system before I make that last connection. Okay, that's one way. Now I'm going to connect it to the low side. I had to connect to the high side with the low side open, blew it out. Now I'm connecting it to the low side with the high side open and then blowing it out as well. I just like to clear the lines. Now I can take these things off, unflare it, get rid of that. And put up our new setup. And honestly, could actually put Nylock glue here as well. And all that's gonna help with leaks, help seal that up. The stuff is really good. This is honestly a horribly placed filter dryer setup. Let's tighten this all up. And let's hope for the best here. I actually have a new pack of Schrader valves. So the two that I see here, I'm actually gonna replace. While the system's open, it's honestly just a good thing to do. So I'm gonna take my tool and you just spin this on. This is a special tool for this. Very simple. You're not gonna be able to see this one. I mean, maybe, but it's really tight. But I always like to change them when I have the system open like that. Right one there. Then over here, you'll see me changing one. Very simple. It takes a minute to do. And it's a good practice. Who knows when the last time this stuff was changed? Because I looked at the other one. It didn't look too good. Yeah, I don't know why. But listen, it gets bad over time, and then people braze with them on, and I'm getting this out. So 2 new Schrader valves and all new caps. I like to do that anytime I open up the system. That's good. And now put our hoses back and let's pressurize this system with nitrogen and check all our new connections for leaks. So we're going to pressurize the high and low side. This should all equalize. Okay, those two are on. Nitro tank is open. Charge through the high side. Let's go. That's that. And here I got a big blue micro gas leak detector. We're just gonna spray that on our new connections. Flare nuts I like to to check on both sides of the flare nut. So let's make sure this is good. Get a decent amount of pressure in there, maybe 250, 300 psi, and just wet your new connections. We installed 4 couplings here and 2 flare nuts. I honestly went over these like twice, so let's give it a chance. Honestly, everything's looking good. We can bring these two together in the end to make everything neat, but everything is looking good. That's beautiful. All right, everything is looking good. Took off my middle hose. Let's dump this nitro. Whoa. It is time for a vacuum, ladies and gentlemen. All that stuff coming out of there. Anyways, we got a micron gauge on here as well. Turn that on, and let's go ahead and get this thing started. This will be a good time. Go grab some food. I just started this a few minutes ago. This thing is coming down fast. Ooh, that's a beautiful thing right there. All right, guys, let's finish this up. That doesn't sound good. Well, let's at least close this door. Vacuum is done. I got the tank on the scale. I opened it. Purge. Zero out the scale. And I am going to charge through the high side. All right, now it's adding the refrigerant. Let's get this thing going and start it up. All right, everyone, we're back up and running. Had to add a few more ounces to clear the sight glass, but the sight glass is now clear. If you look here, that's how it looks like. Honestly, it looks pretty clean. So the liquid line doesn't need insulation. This is not a heat pump. This is strictly cooling, so we're good on that sense. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, that's the best we're gonna get it to go. Electrical's coming from there. We can neaten it up after. And this could actually be sealed. We have a little opening for this ceiling tile just around these pipes, but the rest actually now could be sealed. And there's nothing in this one, so we could actually seal that as well. It's gonna be a lot better. Everything fits. It's not a perfect fit for this condenser unit. It's insanely large, but it is what it is. But yeah, everything's looking good. And we did what we had to do. We get it out of the way, and I don't know. This honestly looks a little bit better. Another thing is I actually put all new refrigerant caps on here. So new Schrader valves and caps every time I open up the system. Gosh, this thing looks terrible, but it is what it is. Oh man. Made these fans quieter. Sounds pretty normal now. Also temperature starting to come down at 60. This room only goes down to 55. So we're at 60 at the moment. Brush down that coil. It's not frozen at the moment, which is great. So just a few more degrees to go and this thing is gonna be all right. Nothing is in our way, and we're gonna wrap this one up here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.